Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching exclusive non-conference women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. Tonight, the College of Staten Island will take on the Misericordia Cougars as the Dolphins look to extend their winning streak to start the 2018 season to 4 in a row. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Bebuski, joined tonight by head men's basketball coach TJ Tibbs as we get ready for another non-conference battle here right before Thanksgiving. And first of all, Coach, thanks a lot for coming on and joining us here tonight on CSI Sportsnet.
Well, thanks for having me. It's always great to be on, whether it's during halftime of a game or anything that you need. So it's an honor to be here sharing the duties with you tonight.
So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about this women's team. They're coming in, a new head coach this year. A lot of questions, a lot of turnover from this team last year, a team that was expected to make it into the NCAA tournament but fell just short, but have come off and gotten off to a great start here in 2018.
Yeah, and of course they've lost a lot, and that was the story. Whenever you lose a lot from a team or from a program, there's always going to be questions about the people behind. But what you see is that there was depth last year. And some of the players who didn't get as many minutes last year are getting minutes now, and they're showing that with their opportunity that they have talent too as well, and they've been off to a great start.
You know, Coach, this team is coming off of a 71-56 win on the road against William Patterson, and that was following their first win against NYU in quite some time. So the team is coming in and playing very well, and a lot of new talent on this team and a lot of other players that have gotten much more of an opportunity to get minutes here so far in 2018, starting with point guard Megan McEwen.
Yeah, Megan McEwen is a pure point guard, but what has been surprising to me is how aggressive she's been to score. I think everybody was worried about where the scoring was going to come from. When you graduate 4 seniors and so much scoring ability and scoring talent, you wonder naturally where it's going to come from. And Megan McEwen has taken the onus on her shoulders. She has the ball in her hands. But not only can she score, she's really great at facilitating and making things better for everybody else.
Yeah, and, you know, and another returning player that's really stepped up and helped the Dolphins is Diana Tadaro. And, you know, Diana joined the team last year and, you know, immediately added an element of toughness to this team. And here, with an opportunity to play full-time, she's really playing well, Coach, averaging over 13 points a game and nearly 8 rebounds.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, the toughness. That's the Tadaro name. Her brother played baseball here. I actually was fortunate enough to play baseball and football with one of her brothers, and they're just very tough individuals, and she's built in the same mold. And what she's done is she's always been able to get the hustle points, the dirty points, the offensive rebounds, beating the other big girl down in transition, fighting inside, loose balls. But now she's added a little bit of a post game. They're looking for her down low. She's got a couple moves in the post, and she's had some success with it early on.
And, you know, Coach, another player that's really added so much to this CSI Dolphin team coming off the bench has been freshman player Kayla Schmitter. Schmitter picking up a double-double in the last game on the road against William Patterson as a freshman, and another player that adds size that has been something the CSI women's team has struggled with throughout the years.
Yeah, and coming off back-to-back CUNYAC Rookie of the Weeks, well-deserving. She's somebody that just plays hard, has a high skill level, has a great motor. You know, Tim Shanahan, our former coach, is kind of like his parting gift in the leaving Kayla Schmitter. And she stepped right in, and she's looked like a veteran from the beginning. She came in, had her first great game against St. Joe's. She had no jitters. She had her first couple of shots. And she's just been a constant, along with Diana Tadaro and Rosa Perrone, just giving us something that we haven't had. It's so hard in Division III athletics, especially here at the College of Staten Island, to have a formidable front line, and that's exactly what Coach Sarcone and her assistant coaches here have developed for this team.
And, you know, Coach, you mentioned new head coach for the Dolphins, Nicole Sarcone, and, you know, she's at a similar position that you were in last year, and that's coming in and looking to coach a new team. What's that process like, and what has it been like? What have you seen working with Nicole so far here in 2018?
Well, the first thing working with Nicole is that she's a worker. She's a tireless worker. She puts in the hours. She analyzes everything, and the one thing when you come in, it's easy to think that you know it all. And she's been the complete opposite. She's very confident in her head coaching abilities, but she's been one that doesn't hesitate to ask questions, not only to myself, but of anyone. And I'm very confident she puts her team every night in the best position to win. But as far as your first question, it's a unique process. It's something that you have to do. You have to adjust constantly every day. The kids are constantly adjusting to you. You're always coming to your first situation with them. So they're 3-0 tonight. So it's the first time that they're 3-0 together. And your first practice, your first week of practice, how do you respond after a bad practice? So they don't know how she's going to be after certain situations. And it's a constant learning process and something that you'll only be able to see the greatness of it probably to the mid-end of the season.
You know, Coach, the returning players thus far have played pretty well. We mentioned Diana Tadero before, but another player with size that started to play very well for the Dolphins this year is Rosa Perone, and she makes such a difference for the Dolphins, Coach, because she adds so much size to this team.
Yeah, Rosa is big for us down low, both literally and figuratively. I think what she has done this year, she's been a little bit more aware of her foul trouble. She's been trying to make a conscious effort of staying out of foul trouble. And when she's on the floor, it's really hard for other big girls to match up with her. She's strong. She's tough. She's good in the post. She'll even step out and hit some 10 and 15-footers. And she just runs the floor really well. And just having a veteran presence, she's a senior. She's been here before. She's been on good teams. She's really contributed. It's really something for the younger girls, the younger women, to come out and have some confidence in, because Rose is a very confident player.
Yeah, and, you know, another player that's really been in the starting lineup all 4 games so far this year is been Brianna Rubinski, Coach. And, you know, Brianna really hasn't lit things up on the scoreboard, but she does enough outside of scoring that the head coach, Sarkon, has decided to keep her out in the starting lineup.
Right, Bree does a lot of little things, and it's easy for, you know, normal fans to just look out and say, well, she's not scoring or she's not shooting well. But what coach is seeing her, what I believe the coach is seeing her, is that she's playing hard, she's executing whatever they're asking for her to do, and she's earning her minutes on the floor. She's also stepping into a new role. I know last year when she got her minutes, she played a little bit of the 4 or 5 positions, more of the post positions, and now she's been asked to play on the perimeter. And for a kid that was the defensive player of the year in the Catholic League as a senior, probably primarily guarding post players and maybe really tough wing players, she's now stepping out on the offensive end and trying to get adjusted to playing on the wing. So it's something that's never easy, but Bree's doing a great job thus far this season.
And turning our attention to their opponent tonight, the Dolphins will face the Misericordia Cougars. And, you know, the Cougars also coming in playing very well. They are 3-0 on the year, and they have a lot of good players. And, you know, the Dolphins to come out again facing another tough non-conference team, this time here at home.
Very tough, undefeated, battle-tested, play in a good conference in our region. And they're going to be tested tonight. They're going to come out and they're going to test our women. Our women are going to test them. You know, they're led by Rachel Carmody, who's averaging basically 18 and 8. And, you know, it's going to be a tough matchup for us along with Japria Carroll. But it's going to be fun. These two teams are, you know, probably going to be near the top of their conference when the end of the year comes. And it's a good early test that they're going to get. So I'm looking forward to a good, tough game.
You know, Coach, as the preseason kind of winds down, and it's really not the season, it's more the season before you get into conference play, you know, what are you looking for out of your team as you have really these final couple of tune-ups before the season starts to gear up a little bit, you start to play more games, and then you start to face all conference opponents?
I think the biggest thing is that you want to see that your kids are executing and you want to compete. You want to, of course, try to win every single game, but the biggest thing at this point in the season is that you're improving. If you could leave every game and can feel like you're improving, you're giving yourself a better chance to win, it's only going to help you when you get into your conference. Of course, in the conference, there's a lot more familiarity. The teams know each other. The coaches know each other. So it's a different dynamic of game. But these are fun games. You're playing against a team that we've never played before. They're coming down here to Staten Island. There's some familiarity between the two because there's a Staten Island player on Misericordia. But as a coaching staff, we're just looking for the younger players to get their feet wet, to be a little bit more confident, to find themselves, and as a team to continue to improve. That's something when I spent my time at Baruch, And I was fortunate enough to be around legend and Jack Alisi. He really stressed that all the time, is that as long as your team is improving every single day, you know, you want to be the best team you could be in conference, and, of course, when the end of the year comes.
Coach, let's turn our attention a little bit towards your men's basketball team. You've scheduled hard, a lot of tough non-conference games, playing against nationally ranked teams already. The team has dropped its first 4 contests, but how do you feel things are going overall?
I mean, I feel as okay as you could feel being 0-4. Of course, we want to win. We play to compete. We want to win every single game. But there's a reason why we schedule those games. I know as a player and as a coach how hard the CUNY Conference is, and we want to give ourselves the hardest opportunity we have so that when we come back in the conference, we're just a little bit more battle-tested. And with us having such a young group and so many question marks around our players this year as well, similar to the women's team, we want our kids to jump right into the fire with teams that are experienced, teams that are going to be picked near the top of their conferences, and teams that might be tournament teams in the end. So that when we come back and we play any single team in our conference, we're just prepared for a fight, because we could lose any game in conference, whether it be home or away. And I need my young guys, my new guys to really understand that, and that's what we've been trying to do with every game.
So I'm sure we'll have a little bit more of an opportunity to talk about the men's season and, of course, their upcoming contest against NYU this Saturday night. So why don't we step aside here, we'll take a break, and then we'll be back, and we'll bring you the starting lineups to get you ready for the start of tonight's game between the College of Staten Island and the Misericordia Cougars, as you're watching women's non-conference basketball coverage right here on your voice of everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
In New York City, there is a place for people that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, where if you work hard, the possibilities are endless. A place to learn, train, and play. In that order, the City University of New York Athletic Conference. This is where it all comes together. Find your people, be a part of a team, and don't just play the game, change the game. Champions aren't born, they're built. The City University of New York. Be exceptional.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
she doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new.
Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened?
Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's
I'm
just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Listen now, can you hear the bluebird Can you feel the sun?
We're back here at the Tank at the College of Staten Island as the Dolphins look to extend their winning streak to 4. And if they're going to do it, they're going to have to defeat an undefeated team as Misericordia also coming into tonight's contest at 3-0 as well. And as the starting players are introduced out on the floor, let's bring you the starting lineups for tonight's game. And here to bring you the starting lineups, the head coach of the defending CUNYAC champion men's basketball team, TJ Tibbs. Coach?
For Misericordia Cougars, we have number 2, Japria Carroll, 5'7" senior. Number 3, Kaylin Sefcik, 5'5" sophomore. Number 4, Tessa Zamulli, a 5'11" sophomore. Number 23, Rachel Carmody, a 5'11" senior. Number 34, Paige Wampole, a 6'1" junior. And for the home team, the CSI Dolphins, we have number 1, Megan McEwen, a 5'4" sophomore. Number 5, Nicole and Bessie, a 5'7" senior. Number 13, Diana Tadaro, a 5'8" junior. Number 14, Brianna Rubisky, a 5'9" junior. And number 25, Kayla Schmitter, a 6-foot freshman.
So Kayla Schmitter joining the starting lineup for the Dolphins here tonight and getting an opportunity to start here for the Dolphins. And, you know, for Kayla, it's going to be her first start of the season. Coach, she's played well in her first 3 games, now gets rewarded with a start here tonight.
Yeah, she's thrown into the starting lineup. It's well-deserved. You never know the reasons for a switch, especially with them winning, but she's deserving. I'm sure you'll see the regular starters get some minutes too that she's filling in for, but she's going to come in and she's going to play well. I'm sure she's a little bit nervous too.
You know, Coach, looking at this Misericordia team, Rachel Camardi leading the team, averaging 17 points and over 8 rebounds a game, but they have a couple of other players that could do damage as well.
Yeah, Jabria Carroll, averaging 15 points and 4 rebounds, and also Tessa Zamulli averaging 15 and 6 rebounds. They look to be well balanced at the top. There's a little drop off when you get underneath that. Nobody else averages double figures, but you also have Erica Hayfley, who comes off the bench and is leading them in assists. So I'm sure you're going to see the ball move. They have some size, and it's going to be an interesting matchup.
So Misericordia coming out, as we mentioned, with a record of 3-0. Dolphins 3-0 as well, and the Dolphins back at home here tonight, coming off of a big non-conference win against William Patterson. And we're underway as the opening tip is bounded around and controlled by the Dolphins as it goes to Tadero, and the first possession will go to CSI. McEwen working the ball up over to Rubinski. Brianna looking to drive down the lane, and she lays it up and no good. And the rebound grab by Wampole.
Good offense to start. Good take from Rubinski.
Carroll with the basketball. Now working the ball back. It's Misericordia with their first possession, and the open three-pointer is good.
Great driving kick. It's hard to help from the strong side corner. Such an easy play to just toss it to the corner. Great finish. Great 3.
So Carroll gets the first basket of the game, and the Cougars lead 3-0. Rubinski gets the ball up over to Mbessi. And Bessie also in the starting lineup here tonight for the Dolphins. Bounce pass goes up over to Tadero. Tadero drives her way inside, and that shot is up no good. And the rebound controlled by the Cougars as they work the ball down the floor quickly. And that shot's going to be up no good, but the Dolphins will pick up the first foul of the night.
And you've seen a couple of things so far from Misericordia. You've seen them rebound really well, and you've also seen them run the floor really well. So there's an apparent size advantage from their 3 big players, but they're also looking to run down the floor well and look for easy baskets.
So they'll go to the free throw line, and the first free throw is up and in. as Zamulli hits the first.
90% from the field, from the free throw line, sorry.
One more upcoming. And that's up no good, so she splits the pair. And the Cougars unable to grab the rebound, so it'll be Dolphin basketball. So Cougars off to a good start. Dolphins looking for their first basket of the evening.
Mike, apparently this sportscaster jinx is really real. So I just had my first one of my life.
McEwen with the basketball, hands off to Rubisky. She's looking to work the ball inside as the Dolphins' pass is going to be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars, so it'll be Dolphin basketball with 13 to shoot.
What you're seeing on any ball screen action, it looks like dribble handoff action. The Cougars are doubling, so they're playing very aggressively on the perimeter.
The Dolphins look to work the ball inside to Tadero, and this time her layup is up and in, and the Dolphins are on the board.
And it enables the Dolphins to set up their press when they make baskets.
As Misericordia able to break that press and get the ball inside for the layup, as that time Wampole able to lay it up and in.
Great left-hand finish by Wampole.
6-2 the score as it's McEwen with the basketball. She looks to feed the ball inside, and this time the Dolphins turn the ball over. Carroll with the basketball. Carroll looking to work away inside and gets called for the travel.
The Dolphins really have to do a better job of getting back in transition. They're looking to run. The Cougars are looking to run off makes and misses.
So Dolphins trail by 4 now, 6-2, as it's Mbesi with the basketball.
There you see the double off the ball screen. They're looking to be very aggressive on the perimeter.
And now we're going to have a foul on the screen, as the Cougars will pick up their first foul, and that'll be called on Zamulli for the Cougars. So the Dolphins inbound now with a fresh 30-second clock. As the Dolphins inbound the ball, as that's Schmitter with the basketball.
Cougars go zone.
Now Tadero takes the short jumper. That's no good. The ball deflected around, and Camardi grabs the rebound for the Cougars. Short jumper that time taken by Sheffield is no good, and here comes Mbesi with the rebound. Nicole driving the ball to the basket. That shot is up no good. But the ball last touched by the Cougars, so it'll remain Dolphin basketball. Coach, the Dolphins have gotten the ball inside, but have struggled to hit their layup so far.
And I think you got to give Misericordia some credit.
As Schmitter hits that short jumper, and the Dolphins close to within 2.
You got to give Misericordia some credit. They have size down low, and they've contested every one of our shots at the rim as the Cougars turn the ball over against our press.
So a nice job by the Dolphins defensively, and they'll have the basketball now with an opportunity to tie up or take the lead.
Yeah, this ball should be under the basket. Nobody touched it. It should be inbounded right under the basket.
So the Dolphins will get to inbound the basket. Ball, 7:15 left here in this first quarter. And the Dolphins trail by 2. Mbesi takes the ball. That upward jumper is up no good, and Camardi is there to grab the rebound.
Cougars in transition really look to get the ball ahead so they could throw the ball in the post or get an easy layup. A good steal there by the Tadero.
Yeah, the Dolphins have forced 3 quick turnovers now by the Cougars. And now it'll be McEwen with the ball for the Dolphins. Bounce pass over to Tadero. Tadero looking to work against Kamadi. Now it's Schmitter. She takes that jumper. That's no good. And the ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. This time, last touch by the Dolphins, but Schmitter has shown no hesitation to take that mid-range jumper.
She's confident. That's what happens when you start off your college basketball season going really well, and she's playing with a lot of confidence.
So the Dolphins try to press, but once again, it's Wampole breaking that press for the layup, and it's now an 8-4 game.
Usually when you play against teams are just looking to break the press and set up their offense. The Cougars are looking to break the press and score immediately. So that's just something that we're going to have to adjust to. Schmitter makes a great move over our left shoulder.
She's got 4 of the 6 Dolphin points here, and it's a 2-point game once again. Carroll with the basketball. Nice bounce pass, and the layup is up and in. A couple of points right inside the paint that time for the Cougars.
Yeah, Carroll made a great crossover move right in front of us, dropped it over to Zamulli, and great transition basketball by the Cougars.
Beautiful feed inside that time by Mbesi, getting it to Schmitter. She's got 6 of 8 now of the Dolphin points.
Got to give credit to Mbesi. Your post players are only as good as a post feed, and that was a beautiful post feed.
Shefik with the basketball, feeding the ball inside, and Wampole is laying it up and in, and Cougars getting another pair of points inside the paint.
The back line of our press is just staring too much into the middle and allowing them to throw it over the top of our heads, but the Dolphins will look to adjust probably at the next point they can stop.
McEwen picks up the quick three. That's no good, and the rebound is grabbed by Zamali. She works the ball up over to Carroll. Carroll, the open three, and that's good. And the Misericordia is hitting their three-point shots, and they have their biggest lead of the game, 15-8.
As they go zone now, and she's 2 for 2 today, but she came in shooting 39%, and as you've seen right there, no hesitation to let it go. Great-looking shot there by Carroll.
Schmitter passes the ball out now to McEwen. Dolphins with 10 seconds to shoot. Bounce pass inside to Schmitter. Contact on the play, but the ball will go out of bounds, and it'll remain Dolphin basketball. So, once again, Kayla working inside, able to knock the ball out of bounds. Dolphins maintain possession.
Yeah, as we see Jackie Callie here come in and Rosa Perone sub in some fresh bodies and the normal starters. But Schmitter is giving them problems right now down low as the Cougars go back to man-to-man.
As you see the Cougars 2 of 2 from the three-point line here so far in this first quarter. McEwen with the basketball. Hands the ball off to Callie. Callie looking to work around the screen. Bounce pass inside to Tadero, but a pass inside is stolen away by Carroll. Carroll driving inside and lays it up and in.
That's such a tough take. You have Megan McEwen running across your body. Nice little 1-2 step. Very impressive by Carroll.
So that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. It'll remain Dolphin basketball, but Misericordia on a little bit of a run. 7-0 to open up a 9-point lead.
I've been really impressed with how disciplined they are, how much they communicate, and obviously they've been getting out in transition, and Carroll has been on fire to start the game.
As you have an opportunity to see that steal and the layup on the replays, that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds, and now it'll be a turnover, and it will remain Misericordia basketball. You know, Coach, when we saw the Dolphins play in that game against NYU, they went into a couple of extended scoring streaks there. Defense prevented NYU from getting all the way back in that game, but they do need to find a way to get a little more consistent offensively.
Yeah, we look to play at an up-tempo, and Misericordia is looking to play at that same tempo. Right now they're just executing a little bit more than we are, but, the Dolphins are looking to settle down and just get their feet under them.
As Shefik takes the long three-pointer, that's no good. And Tadero grabs the rebound, and here come the Dolphins looking to run. And Bessie, ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by McEwen. So the Dolphins turn the ball over once again with 4:01 remaining here in the first quarter.
And at the last break, we had Leanne Forsythe check into the game, a Staten Island product from Notre Dame Academy, a 5A senior, which is probably a major reason why we have this game scheduled here tonight, so good for her.
Shefik with the basketball, hands the ball off to Carroll. Carroll now kicking the ball out to Forsythe as she backs the ball out with 15 to shoot. Now working it over to Carroll for the open three, and that's good.
Really impressive. It's also impressive how everybody's looking for each other. She could have took a shot. She's hot. She gave it up. She got it right back, and she's been on fire.
12-0 Cougar run to open the lead up, and now we're going to have a foul. It'll just be the second team foul, so the Dolphins will inbound the basketball, but the Cougars have been red hot from the floor here.
Yeah, Chapria Carroll with 11 points early and has just done it all. Transition, get to the basket, spot up threes. She even had a travel that was, a 50-50 call, but she's been aggressive. Her teammates have been looking for her, and they've been trying to play really balanced.
So the Dolphins looking to inbound the basketball. They need points here as they feed the ball inside to Perone, who lays it up and in. So Rosa Perone checks into the game and scores on her first touch.
Terrific job by Rosa sealing, but even better job by Jackie Callie finding her and leading her to the basket for her left hand.
Big basket for the Dolphins as that shot will be an air ball, and the Dolphins will get possession. And that broke up a 10-0 Cougar run, and the Dolphins now trail by 10.
Right. And Carmody was open there. I'm sure she'll take a lot more shots going forward.
Now in Bessie with the baseline jumper, and that's good, and the Dolphins have scored the last 4.
And it's a game of runs. Misericordia tried to trap at half court, did a great job of getting it out of the trap, and found Bessie in the corner for a nice-looking jump shot.
Now they look to work the ball inside, and that should be a travel, and it will be on Kamadi. So the Cougars turn the basketball over. McEwen with the basketball as the Dolphins bring the ball up with 2.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Perone now gets the ball to McEwen. She feeds the ball inside to Schmitter. Back to Callie. Her open three is up, no good. Dolphins still looking for their first three-pointer of the night.
And you've seen almost every possession, the Dolphins look to get it inside, and the post rewarding Jackie Callie for throwing it inside by throwing it right back, and a nice shot, a nice deflection here on the other end.
Nice defense by the Dolphins. It will remain Cougar basketball now with 25 seconds left to shoot. Feed inside, and that ball's knocked away and taken nicely by Schmitter, and the Dolphins get the ball off the turnover once again. McEwen with the basketball. Hands off to Callie. Callie looking to use the Perone screen. Now she feeds the ball inside, off the hands of Schmitter, but a nice job by Mbesi to maintain possession. Going to have a whistle, and I'm not sure if that's a 3 seconds there, Coach, or no.
She called it a foul, extension of the elbow by Schmitter.
So the Dolphins will turn the ball over now.
And you can see now, you can see now how they've adjusted their press a little bit, it looks like. The back line is now more by the three-point line. They were up earlier, so they just made a little adjustment in the back of our press.
And, you know, that's a big foul, Coach, because that's the second foul on Schmitter here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's tough. And I don't know if Coach Sarkone's going to put her in for the rest of the half, but that's a tough one to lose that early.
As that ball is stolen away and played over to McEwen, and that'll be a backcourt violation on the Dolphins. Nice defensive play by the Dolphins, but they'll turn the ball over.
Right, and I actually misspoke. I seen Tadaro there at the table. I thought they were going to let the sub in, and Schmitter was out there on the floor. I'm sure Tadaro was going to come in the game for Schmitter here, as she does. And that's tough when you're getting the ball in so early, but the one good thing about the Dolphins so far is that Rosa Perone and Diana Tadaro are equally as capable, so I don't feel like anything's going to drop off.
Yeah, it's a tough foul, though, to pick up your second in the first quarter for Schmitter. As that ball's fed inside it, a beautiful move that time to the basket by Kamadi to lay the ball up and in and draw the foul.
Great take. Face up. They isolated her at the top, ripped through, and Rosa Perone just got to get her hands up, straight up, and the ref banged her for a foul for N1.
So now the Cougars go up by 12 with an opportunity to make it a 13-point game, and they do, as Kamadi hits a free throw, and it's now a 23-12 game, an 11-point Cougar lead. McEwen handing the ball off to Mbesi with 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. Tadaro facing up, the long jumper, and that shot is no good. That's not really the shot the Dolphins were looking for, as Misericordia able to take advantage and lay the ball up and in as Forsyth takes it coast to coast.
Coast to coast, and you hear the large contingent of Forsyth fans, either for the night or in general, making noise. Staten Island Prada gets her first two of the game.
13-point lead now for the Cougars. The Dolphins have allowed just about 43 points a game, 47 points a game, 25 points here in the first quarter, Coach. A different kind of game here so far.
And I don't think they're playing bad. I just think that the pace that the Cougars are playing at, they're playing it a little better than we're trying to play it right now. They've had a lot of transition layups, some N1 opportunities, and they've really been running the ball really well in transition. And I look for them to adjust after the first quarter.
Long outside jumper that time with a lot of time remaining on the shot clock. It's no good as the Cougars grab the rebound and look to get the last shot here in the first quarter. Outside jumper by Forsyth is up, no good. And that'll be the first quarter as the Dolphins were able to close to 8 at 20-12, but the Cougars have the last 5 points of the quarter to go into the second quarter leading by a score of 25-12. So we'll step aside, take a break. You're watching women's non-conference basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
make me wear my bike helmet.
Taught me never to run with scissors.
You make me wear my bike helmet.
Taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet.
Shoebox under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
We're back. 1 quarter in the books. The Dolphins find themselves down by 13, 25-12. Coach, we have a look at the first half, the first quarter statistics. What do you see there so far?
I see 7 assists on 10 baskets for Misericordia. I also see 5 assists on 6 baskets for us. So what that means is both of these teams are playing good brands of basketball. The ball's moving. Misericordia just out-executed us in the first quarter.
Misericordia is shooting 10 of 16. The Dolphins 6 of 17, but have a nice defensive play to start the second quarter. McEwen with the basketball. McEwen looks to work the ball inside, and that ball's going to be stolen and turned over. 7th Dolphin turnover so far.
Yeah, what the turnovers do is it gets the Cougars into their offense quickly, and here they go. They have an open 3 on the wing.
Open three-pointer that time by Zamuli is up and good. The Cougars now 4 of 7 from the three-point line.
Yeah, and they've been getting open looks because they've been throwing the ball ahead, which has been causing our defense to scramble early, and they've been swinging the ball around for nice open jump shots.
As the Dolphins aren't able to convert offensively, and here come the Cougars looking to run once again, as that's Forsythe. Forsythe working the ball back to Zamoli, but she's going to get called for the travel, and Dolphins need to get on track offensively. This is the second big Misericordia run, 8-0, since it was an 8-point game.
Right,
Coach.
And the biggest thing that is hurting us right now are the turnovers that are causing the Cougars to get out into transition. Or even sometimes you can shoot the ball and it could be a shot turnover where it's such a tough shot or a quick shot, and then it leads into a quick run out.
As that time, Callie misses the 3, Tadero misses the putback, and Dolphins have an opportunity, but once again unable to score. And Coach, the Dolphins got to find a way to play better defense on the Cougars.
Yeah, once they get them into the half court, I think they'll have a little bit more success. They haven't really been pounding inside as much as I thought they would. Their ball movement has just been really consistent.
And they've done a good job hitting their outside shots, as Carroll misses that outside shot, but able to grab the offensive rebound. Her second attempt is no good, and this time Tadero is there to grab her second rebound of the night.
And the Cougars are playing with no conscience as they get for a hold inside. The Cougars are playing with no conscience. You see Carroll come right back into the game. I know she's been hot, hasn't missed a shot. Missed a three-pointer, got the ball right back, didn't hesitate to take a long 2. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
As the Misericordia will pick up the foul, and that foul is going to be on Wampole. That will be her second, and this time the Dolphins able to get the ball inside, get the basket and the foul, so Perona's come in and has been effective offensively for the Dolphins.
She's been great, and like I said earlier, Schmitter is on the bench, and she played well certainly early, but Rosa Perone and Diana Tadero are definitely more than capable, and the Dolphins have continued to pound it inside.
So Perone with an opportunity at the free throw line, that's no good. And the rebound's grabbed by Kamadi. And, Coach, the Dolphins find themselves down by 14 here, a young team that hasn't had anything but success so far. What do you think's going on the bench right now?
I just think that, they need to settle down a little bit. Like I said, the Cougars are playing at such a fast pace. It's hard to adjust to while you're out there. But I think the ladies that are on the bench, they can see the game a little bit better when they're off. They can see how aggressive the Cougars are, so it could better fit them when they come back out into the game.
Cougars continue to hit their three-pointers and have their biggest lead of the game at 17. As a nice feed inside, and the layup by Tadero is up and in. Nice pass by Devin Mooney, the freshman who's checked into the game and has shown flashes early in her first
season.
Devin
Mooney is a tough player, a confident player, hasn't gotten that many minutes, but came right in and thrown it inside.
As that will be an offensive foul, and the Cougars will turn the ball over. A 3-second violation, on the play. So Mooney into the game now, along with Bessie, Perone, Tadero, and Callie. And Dolphins waiting to get Jackie Callie on track a little bit more offensively, Coach.
Yeah, but she's been looking to pass because they've been doubling and being aggressive a lot on the perimeter. And I'm sure she'll get her shot and she'll be able to knock it down when she does.
Here comes the Cougars back as it's Zamoli over to Carroll. Carroll, no hesitation, halfway down and out. Tadero there to grab the rebound.
And Zamoli threw her the ball and knew she was open and was telling her to shoot as soon as she got it. That's the confidence that these Cougars have in their teammates.
15-point lead for the Cougars, 6:45 remaining here in the first half. Nice backdoor cut by Callie, but the shot is up, no good. And once again, Kamadi is there to grab the rebound and hand the ball off. And we're going to have another travel called on the Cougars.
And what we just had on the last possession, we had a missed opportunity, but we had two Dolphins chasing the rebound under the basket, which just gave the Cougars a chance to push the ball out in transition and to have numbers. So Dolphins need to be a little bit more disciplined on the rebounds. They don't get a rebound to run straight back because the Cougars are coming right back down the court.
So we're going to have a reach-it foul. That's going to be on Jordan Barth. That's going to be her first, the team's third here in the second quarter. As it'll be Mooney with the basketball now for the Dolphins. Mooney looking to use the Perone screen, hands it off to Callie. Callie's lob pass inside is going to be stolen away by the Cougars.
And that opportunity, it's a foul in transition. The opportunity we had there for Rosa to get the ball under the basket is because they've been doubling every dribble handoff and every ball screen at the top of the key. And what the Dolphins need to do is to try to make two passes out of that first trap, and they've been able to be successful with getting the ball underneath the basket.
It'll be a 30-second timeout taken by the Cougars, so let's keep it here, Coach. The Dolphins down by 15 now, 31-16. Rosa Perone just picking up her second personal foul well outside the three-point line, the kind of foul that you really want to try to avoid.
Yeah, a little bit of a frustration foul. She's running back. They're coming right down transition, and she kind of got in the way of the ball handler and picked up a tough foul with Schmitter with two and with Rosa with two. You see what Coach Sarcone does as far as leaving who in the game. You know, Diana Tadero is still going to be out there, but we've been doing such a great job of getting the ball inside. You have to wonder what Coach Sarcone is thinking with how she wants to manage the fouls on the court.
And, you know, Coach, you look at the shooting, and Dolphins continue to struggle a little bit from the floor. The Cougars remain hot from the floor and have been scoring effectively from the three-point line as well.
And the biggest thing they've been doing is moving the ball, looking for each other, and being really aggressive as they run a nice little duck in here out of bounds.
As that ball is fed inside. As the Cougars hit the layup, and they open their lead to 17 once again. Callie puts up the open three. That's no good. Dolphins still looking for their first three-point basket of the night. Is Tadero's second chance opportunity from the free throw line is no good.
And here they go right ahead. Charge.
As that's going to be another offensive foul and a turnover by the Cougars, and it's been those turnovers that have kept the Dolphins in the game.
Turnovers, quick shots. It just gets the Cougars right ahead. The Cougars have multiple ball handlers on the floor. So they look to outlet to another guard, and the guards are looking to outlet the ball up the court, which is giving them easy baskets.
And, you know, Coach, here in the second quarter, the Dolphins playing a little bit better defense, but still struggling to score just 4 points so far here in this second quarter.
Yeah, as they run a nice play here for a back screen for Roosevelt layup. Tough one. She's got to be careful there, reaching under the basket too, as to not pick up a third foul.
So the Cougars look to bring the ball down. They already have matched their biggest lead of the game. It's 17. Is a beautiful feed inside, and the layup is up and in. Nice job. Internal passing by the Cougars on that
Yeah,
possession.
nice double crossover move by Sefcik. Drove down to the left. Nice little no-look pass. Beautiful move for two.
As that jumper by Perone is up and in. And Perone has come in. She has 6 for the Dolphins. She's scored effectively since checking into the game.
Yeah, but here come the Cougars right back. They missed it that time, but they're right back and not allowing our defense to get set. and they're looking to run on makes or misses, as it looks like we'll be shooting in the bonus now for the rest of the quarter.
Yeah, that's an early time for the 5th foul, Coach, with 4:38 remaining, and maybe the Dolphins can try to work their way back a little bit from the free throw line.
Yeah, and the one thing that is good, 4 minutes, 38 seconds, so you're shooting 2 for the rest of the quarter. And we've been throwing the ball inside. We still have 2 post presents in the game, and Rosa Perone and Diana Tadaro. So possibly if we could get some hand check calls down low, or something that's a little bit too physical, it could give us some easy chances at the line.
So one more free throw coming up here for Cali. That's no good. So the Dolphins split the pair and find themselves down 35-19. Short jumper from the free throw line extended is up and in as the Cougars continue to shoot well from the floor.
Yeah, Zamali came into the game 1 for 15, hit her first. She's been so aggressive ever since then. And like I said, just right in line with the rest of the Cougar team that when they're open, they're looking to shoot.
37-19, nice crossover move by Mooney. Her pass across over to Cali. She looks to drive away inside. She lays it up and in and draws the foul. Nice play, as that time we're going to have a blocking foul called on Zamali.
Yeah, great move by Jackie Cali directly into the paint. And that's where the Cougars' weakness has been. Anytime we've been able to get the ball in via the post or dribble penetration, we've seemed to have some success. We just have to get back in defense.
As we have an opportunity to see the replay as Cali drives inside. It was a close call, but the Dolphins get the call, but missed the free throw, but grabbed the offensive rebound.
Yeah, I think on that block call, I think what gave it away, that made it a block, was that her right foot was inside the charge arc, so it made it an easy call for the official, as that one should be as well.
Perone fighting her way inside and misses the layup, but will draw the foul. So once again, a strong offensive move to the basket by Perone on the play.
Right, and like we alluded to earlier, when they picked up 5 fouls, the Cougars, for the second quarter, the Dolphins have continued to pound it in and pound it in and pound it in, and we've had success with that in the first half.
As that first free throw is up and no good, and what the Dolphins haven't had success with in this first half, Coach, has been hitting their free throws.
Now I feel like I'm getting deja vu because we can't hit any free throws neither.
Dolphins, one more free throw upcoming, and that will roll in. So the Dolphins split the pair, and they're now 2 of 6 from the free throw line.
Yeah, tough when we get opportunities. Got to knock them down, but that's something that'll frustrate a coach easily.
As the Cougars turn the ball over once again, as Tadero's pass ahead of the field to Rubinski, and Brianna lays it up and in, and the Dolphins have cut it down to 13.
And here we go with some transition points of our own and some easy baskets. It gives us a chance to set up our defense, where we've been pretty good in the half court.
Cougars now looking to get back on track now, leading by 13. As the ball brought inside now by Forsythe. She gets the ball back in the corner. She fakes inside. Her baseline jumper is up. No good. Cali there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. Cali, guarded by Carroll. She'll bring the ball out now as they'll feed it over to Mooney, who takes control of the offense with 17 to shoot. Tadero out over to Rubinski. Bounce pass to Cali. As the Dolphins now work the shot clock down to 7. Cali driving away inside, but can't hit the layup.
Usually see Jackie Cali shooting, working from the perimeter. She's made it her point to go into the paint, and just missing on that one.
Forsythe feeding the ball inside, and that shot is up. No good. The rebound no good, and this time it's Perone going up strong to grab the rebound.
Most importantly there, Rosa stayed out of foul trouble there, because the third would be really crucial here for the Dolphins.
Tadero with the basketball now. She takes the long jumper from the outside. That's up, no good. Diana continues to be cold on the outside shots, and now it's the Cougars with the ball inside 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Cougars haven't scored a basket in a while. They've been struggling because they've had to play in the half court.
Cougars looking to work the ball inside. It thought there might be a travel on the play, but instead Hafley able to lay it up and in.
Yeah, good move. Waiter, she lost her bounce a little bit, kept her eye on the basket. Tough finish around the basket for 2.
Callie over to Mooney. A nice feed inside to Perone, but the ball goes through her hands, and the Dolphins turn the ball over. Hafley stops, pulls up the long three-pointer, is up, no good. Fight for the rebound. Good hustle play that time by the Dolphins as it's Tadero going to the floor. It'll be a jump ball, and the possession arrow will go to the Dolphins.
As we have some subs, we have Megan McEwen that is back in the game with a long rest, and then we see what I think may be for the first time Visaja Watson for the season.
Yeah, and you know McEwen, who's been averaging over 16 a game, TJ, for the Dolphins, yet to score here tonight.
You got to give Devin Mooney credit. Devin Mooney came in the game. She played hard defense. She really got the team, the offense going. She came in and she did a great job as the Cougars goes on.
Big final minute and 7 seconds here for the Dolphins as they feed the ball inside to Watson. Watson working the ball back to McEwen. Her long three-pointer gets the roll and in. First three-pointer of the game for the Dolphins.
I think we might have got lucky with that one as the wire's still shaking. That might have hit the wire, but 3 points for us. We'll take it.
39-27 the score now. The Dolphins 2 within 12. 40 seconds remaining here as that's Hafley with the basketball. She drives inside and Rabinski comes away with the steal. 4-on-2 for the Dolphins. Feed inside to McEwen. She lays it up and in. And just like that, it's a 10-point game inside of 30 seconds remaining.
Some more great transition offense for us. Tremendous play by Rabinski to dribble down the middle of the court, hit McEwen in stride for our first basket of the game.
So we're going to have a foul away from the ball. That will be on the Dolphins. It will only be their second foul or second team foul of the quarter as Watson picks up her first, and the team second. Hafley feeding it into the corner. The open three is up, no good. Nice job by Watson with the box out and the rebound.
I don't think they wanted to shoot that early. They had an opportunity to take the last shot, and maybe the Dolphins could cut into a lead.
McEwen with the basketball. Beautiful feed inside to Watson, who lays it up and in. And the Dolphins close out the first half strong, finishing with a big run to close to within 8, 39-31 at halftime.
And that's just resiliency. That's just fighting back. They were down a lot, maybe as much as 15 in the first half. And give Visaja Watson credit. Give Meg McEwen credit coming back off the bench in the last two minutes of the game and really igniting that last little bit of a run. Cougars made a mistake there shooting real early when they had a chance to hold for one, and the Dolphins take advantage of that mistake.
Yes, the Dolphins come roaring back, trailing, I believe, by as many as 17 in this game and go into halftime trailing by just 8 points. And, you know, Coach, you got to feel really good about the way the Dolphins ended that first half.
They definitely don't feel like they played well, I know that, but to be within 8, you still giving yourself a chance. They got out of the press that was beating them early, and it seemed like the Cougars' transition wasn't beating them as bad as the half wore on. And then we answer with some offense of our own. Meg McEwen does what she does, comes off a ball screen at the end of the half, head up, dumps it off to Visaja Watson, who looks like she's playing the 4, and does a tremendous job putting the ball into the basket.
As the Dolphins will go into halftime trailing by 8 points, and looks like we're going to be joined by a familiar face as Christina Passatoro, assistant women's basketball coach, nice enough to come over and join us at halftime. And Coach, the team was down by as many as 17. You stormed back trailing by only 8 going into the half.
Yeah, we were just talking, and I said the good news is we played a minute of basketball in 20 minutes of a half, and we're down by 8. The bad news is we didn't play 19 minutes of basketball, so that's definitely going to be a topic of conversation.
You know, Coach, the Cougars really came out and was shooting very effectively here so far tonight, but you've already turned them over 10 times, and the defense appeared to get better as the second quarter went along.
Yeah, I mean, this team prides themselves on their defense. Misericordia is a great team, but defense is our thing, so I think we just came out a little bit sleepy, and hopefully the second half will turn around like the last minute of this game. It was a good run going into the next half.
Misericordia is looking to really push the ball on makes and misses. They've done a great job of throwing the ball ahead and getting some easy baskets in transition. How do you guys think you're going to be able to slow them down a little bit to get them play a little bit more in the half court?
The girls just need to move their feet. We physically actually watched girls walking back on defense. So I think now they have a little fire in their step. Maybe they got the jitters out, the tiredness from the first half, but once they start moving, it shouldn't be a problem.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Good luck, coaches. That's assistant women's basketball coach Christina Passatora. How strange is that to say, Coach, after watching her play such great basketball for the same women's basketball team for the last 4 years?
Well, you're talking about, if not the best player to ever play in CUNY, one of the best players for sure. And strange for me and you, but it's got to be even more strange for her to just, about a couple of months ago, be wearing that jersey and be out here playing. And I know it's hard to make a transition being a player and a coach, but her and Tori Cray, who's also assistant coach for us, are doing a phenomenal job helping out Nicole Sarcone.
So we're at halftime. The Dolphins have worked their way back into this game and trail only by 8 going into halftime, 39-31. So we'll step aside. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be back. And we'll bring you halftime statistics and the start of the second half as you're watching women's non-conference basketball exclusively on your voice for everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
I got a crick in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. All of the ones get on. It's very sad all that I could do was remember you. You know I usually say no, but if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends.
Come on in!
Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
I remember, Dad, you and Mom got this car with a hatchback. I said, I'd be happy to give you the money to get a really great car. And he said, well, no, this works for me. I says, why? Because it's the right height to put the meals in. Dad, tell me when you first got an inkling about Meals on Wheels.
There was kind of an abandoned house. That's where we got started with Meals on Wheels. We kind of filled a need for people as they got older.
It's the human interaction that probably fed them much more than the food.
Oh, yeah. When you can see somebody else benefiting by your life in some way, you can't help but feel good about it, I think.
Well, the reason I'm involved, Dad, is because you are, and you're so inspiring. How you've impacted people is enormous.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Your dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do it like that, Uncle Drew.
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same. Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately.
You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
In New York City, there is a place for people that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, where if you work hard, the possibilities are endless. A place to learn, train, and play. In that order. The City University of New York Athletic Conference. This is where it all comes together. Find your people, be a part of a team, and don't just play the game, change the game. Champions aren't born, they're built. The City University of New York. Be exceptional.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
We're back here at halftime. The College of Staten Island working their way back into the game, trailing by a score of 39-31. Mike Babuski along with head men's basketball coach TJ Tibbs. And coach, this team was down by 19 points with 5 minutes and 3 seconds remaining here in this second quarter. Big 7-0 run by the Dolphins to close the quarter out, and they find themselves down just 8 points.
Yeah, great spark by, like I said, Meg McEwen came back into the game, Visaja Watson. Then it was also just some resiliency, some defense. We stopped the Cougars from running. We got them in the half court. We kept them to one shot, and we had some better success on the offensive end. So it's going to be a very interesting second half. It's going to be interesting how the first 4 or 5 minutes go to start the second half and see which team could throw the first punch.
And, you know, Coach, the Dolphins struggled a little bit. They didn't hit a three-pointer until but Megan was able to get one just before the first half ended. But, you know, the team didn't get frustrated, down all those points, continued to play hard, and it really paid dividends as they find themselves down less than double digits going into the third quarter.
Yeah, and I don't look at the fact that they haven't hit three-pointers. They've only attempted 4 because they've had such a huge success in throwing the ball inside and, you know, getting to the free throw line for opportunities. So I do look for more of the same of them continuing to throw the ball inside, and I think because they throw the ball inside and are attacking the basket, that they'll be able to kick the ball outside and get a little bit more easier three-point attempts.
You know, Coach, in the first quarter, the Cougars were able to shoot at nearly 63%. In the second quarter, that same shooting percentage went down to 35%. Did you see anything different from the Dolphins that helped reduce the Cougars' shooting percentage?
Well, what helped the shooting percentage of the Cougars in the first quarter was the fact that they got so many wide-open layups and wide-open three-point attempts. I do think it was twofold. I think the Dolphins got a little bit tougher on defense. Were able to play them in the half court instead of transition. But I also think we need to be careful because the Cougars did get some open shots that they were hitting earlier. So we just need to, like I said, keep them out of transition, keep them in the half court. They haven't really looked to throw the ball inside. It's looked to have been basically a perimeter attack. So as long as we stay in front of our man, then I think we'll be fine.
You know, Coach, we scroll through the halftime statistics in all these games. We see that Misericordia outscored the Dolphins 13-2 in points off of turnovers, but both teams even in points in the paint. Fast break points about even, and the Dolphins outscoring CSI from the bench 12-6. As a coach, do you take anything from those numbers?
Yeah, well, I take that the fact that they've had about even turnovers. Misericordia has 10. They actually have more, and we have 9 turnovers. But what the difference has been is that Misericordia has been a lot more aggressive off of securing those turnovers. Once they get those turnovers, it usually leads to long outlets and layups, and they're looking to score. When we get turnovers, they've usually been either dead ball turnovers that go out of bounds, travels, balls that just been thrown out of bounds, and we're still looking to push, but we haven't been as successful as getting some easy shots. The Cougars are pushing in transition and getting open threes and inside the paint too as well. So what I really look at that as is when we get turnovers, because we're creating just as many as the other team, let's be aggressive. Let's push it right down to the basket because they've looked to not necessarily been as strong in the interior on their defense around the basket.
So what do the Dolphins need to do in this second half offensively against this strong Cougar defense?
Is to take balanced shots because that starts off their defense. Continue to pound the ball inside. You'll see a little bit more of Schmitter as she comes back into the game without the foul trouble. And like I said, take more of the same. I'm sure we're going to hit a couple of three-point shots, and it's going to come off kickouts from the post or somebody like Megan McEwen driving the ball into the paint and throwing it out for threes.
No player on either team with more than 2 personals. Wampole, Zamuli, and Barth with 2 personals for the Cougars. For the Dolphins, it's Schmitter and Perone with 2 personals. So no real foul trouble going into the second half, Coach.
No, I think both coaches have depth on the bench, and they haven't been afraid to use it. They've managed their fouls well, but both teams will be at full strength as they come back out for the second half. So it should be very interesting seeing each team's first lineups coming in, as I think Rosa Perone will start the second half, it looks like, and Schmitter is still on the bench. Yes, Rosa Perone's going to start. So, and Bessie's back out there, and Bessie and Callie. So a little bit of a different look with Callie and Bessie, Perone, McEwen, and Tadero to start for the Dolphins.
Perone, the leading Dolphin scorer with 7 points, as that first shot is up no good, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called 7 seconds into the third quarter.
See, a couple of things I look at as a coach. I look at the fouls. 10 fouls for Misericordia, 5 fouls for the Dolphins. And the refs do know that. The officials do know that. So while I'm not saying that there wasn't any contact there, I think that's a point of emphasis for the officials when they come back out. And as you see, as there's 7 seconds that go into the game, and foul call right away.
So Camardi misses her first free throw. She's now 1 of 2 from the line, and she misses the pair. And Tadero is there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. The 7th rebound for Diana, as she leads all players in rebounds here tonight. And Bessie with the basketball now for the Dolphins. Now over to Perone. Perone pass up over to Callie as the Dolphins now hand the ball off to McEwen. McEwen with 10 seconds to shoot. McEwen driving her way inside. That layup is up no good, but Perone is there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. McEwen with the second jumper. That's no good. Third chance for the Dolphins. Good offensive rebounding by the Dolphins to start the second
And
half.
I'm not sure if Misericordia made an adjustment. We've seen 2 ball screens there, and there's no double team, so I'm not sure if they've gotten out of that. But they don't look to be as aggressive on the perimeter as a steal here by the Cougars.
Yeah, big steal there as Carroll drives down the lane. That shot is up no good. The rebound putback is no good. And now it's in Bessie with the basketball and a 3-on-1 for the Dolphins as Tadero is able to lay it up and in. And Dolphins haven't been within 6, Coach, since the beginning of the game.
Just like we alluded to. So now here the Dolphins go securing the turnover and getting 2 points off a turnover on their own. So looking to be a little bit more aggressive when they force some turnovers.
Carroll with the basketball looks to feed the ball inside. It's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a turnover now by the Cougars, and the Dolphins with another opportunity as they continue to whittle down this Cougar lead.
And we're continuing. We ended the half on a 7-0 scoring run, and we've continued that momentum carrying into the second half. Great start at the beginning of the second half for the Dolphins.
McEwen with the basketball. Now it's in Bessie. Perrone working the ball around, out over to Callie. Now it's McEwen. She fakes the three-pointer. Look to hand the ball off inside, and the Dolphins turn it over. Carroll now working the ball out as it goes inside to Kamadi. Her shot is up, no good. Rebound tipped and controlled by McEwen. McEwen, beautiful feed to Bessie, but she misses the layup.
Yeah, great look. It looks like the Dolphins are the one that are running and looking to score early, as the Cougars have been a little bit more tame in transition.
Zamoli with the basketball. Now Shefik. Feed inside to Kamadi. Her shot is up, no good. She's missed the last few attempts. And Tadero grabs another rebound for the Dolphins, her 8th.
That seems like when they need to get a basket, they go right to Sefcik at the nail at the middle of the free throw line for isolation. The Dolphins have to keep her from her right hand from going right.
And Bessie's pass inside is deflected away. It'll be last touched by Zamuli, so it will remain Dolphin basketball with 14 seconds to shoot.
Dolphins were successful on their last baseline out-of-bounds play, throwing the ball inside. It was Jackie Callie to Rosa Perrone.
Perrone now with the basket. She passes the ball back up in the corner. The jumper is up, no good, so the Dolphins have had a couple of opportunities to get it inside of 6, but have been unable to convert. Carroll inside to Zamuli. She puts it up with her hand, and it's no good, and Perrone grabs the rebound, and here comes Bessie with the ball. And Bessie driving inside. And,
she's inside. They got to change that.
That's going to be a charge, but you're right, as she was inside the circle.
Yeah, they're going to change that. She was definitely inside. The Hawk gets an automatic block call. No matter how well she took the contact, it's got to be changed to an automatic block call.
So we'll wait and see what the officials call out officially out on the floor. And, you know, Coach, the Dolphins have had at least 2 or 3 possessions down just by 6. Looking to continue to put pressure on the Cougars and narrow the lead.
And this is unfortunate because right now the refs do not know who picked up the foul on the block. So that's what the discussion is. They know they already changed the call to a block, but they don't know who picked up the foul.
So let's see if we have an opportunity to get a look, as it looks like it will in fact be Dolphin basketball, as that foul was on 34, Coach, Paige Wampole.
And she's not happy.
Well, she may not be happy, but that's her 3rd personal. And
it should be shooting, too, as well. It certainly should be a shooting foul.
As the shot, it will not be a shooting foul. I'm not sure how that could be. But it's going to be Perrone with the basketball as we resume action, as Rosa misses the shot. And the rebound's grabbed by the Cougars, and here comes Carroll. Carroll looking to work on Callie. Carroll forces the shot up. That's no good. The offensive rebound, though, is put up that time by Kamadi, and that breaks the Dolphin run.
And, you know, as a coach, that's what's frustrating. You get the call correct, but there's 3 officials on the court. Nice pass, nice play. 3 officials on the court, and they can't get together to figure out that she was shooting, and then they come down and score. It's a very frustrating thing as a coach.
Yeah, it is, but Perrone's basket now cuts the lead down to 6. As that long jumper is going to be no good, and Cougars have really gone cold from the floor since that first quarter.
Yeah, they haven't been getting out as well as they were in the first and the early part of the second. So their offense is slow. They've taken a couple of contested opportunities, so it's been a little bit tougher. They've been making it tougher on themselves, but the Dolphins have also been playing great defense.
Dolphins trying to cut the lead down inside 6, as that's Tadero. She passes it inside to Perrone. Perrone fights her way inside, misses the layup, and then draws the foul. And, you know, once again, Coach, you look at Rosa. She's picked up 3 personals now, 1 outside the three-point line and the 1 under the basket. if she could just find a way to kind of avoid those fouls, it could really help her stay out on the floor.
Yeah, she plays hard. It's a gift and a curse because she plays so hard. She goes for everything. So she's going to come up with offensive rebounds and loose balls, but she's also going to get some fouls.
As the feed inside to Kamadi, she lays it up and in and draws the foul.
Great pass by Jordan Barth. Got the ball on the post. A rarity today for the Cougars. And great cut by Carmody and one foul by Tadaro.
So Kayla Schmidt checking back into the game. And, you know, Coach, Kayla started for the first time here tonight and really was just in the lineup in the first quarter before picking up a second foul and now getting back into the lineup for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Rosa Perone came back into the starting. You'd have to think that was some sort of team-related, possibly. Because Schmidt was playing well and she had foul trouble, but nonetheless, she's back into the game with 5:47 left to go.
McEwen over to Mbesi. Tadaro over to Callie. The open three-pointer, and that's up and no good. And Dolphins unable to convert on the open three, and now it's the Cougars with the basketball.
See, now it's the Dolphins in transition, being more aggressive, shooting their first three in transition. Great play by Mbesi as she draws the foul.
So nice play that time by Nicole as the Cougars will pick up their second team foul of the quarter. As that foul will be on Kamadi, and the Dolphins will inbound with a fresh 30-second clock.
And that's what Mbesi does. She does a little bit of everything. Everything she does doesn't necessarily show up in the box score, but she hustles, she makes great passes, and she even hit a shot today, which they don't really rely on her for her offense, but she does everything right out there on the court.
As the Dolphins missed the shot, Cougars grab the rebound, and here comes Carroll. Carroll, jumper is up, no good. Zamuli grabs the rebound. That's no good, but she'll draw the foul.
I think that might be on Tadaro.
So it'll be another shooting foul coming up here for the Cougars, as they've been able to go to the line here in this third quarter as the first free throw by Zamuli is up and in.
Now we kind of seen roles flip-flop. Now it's the Dolphins that are running and scoring in transition, and now it's the Cougars on the other end throwing the ball into the post and into the paint and being successful.
As that second free throw is up, no good, and McEwen controls the rebound, and the Dolphins now down by 9. McEwen looks to lob the ball inside. Tough pass that time, and the Dolphins turn it over.
They've been trying to get that backdoor cut. It's there. Tough angles on the passes, but I'm sure they'll get one of them later in the game.
Carroll with the basketball has it knocked away by McEwen as Megan races ahead of the field and misses the layup. Cougars grab the rebound, feed it up to Carroll, who lays it up and in. So big 4-point swing in the game there, Coach.
Yeah, and you know, from the outside it looks like, wow, we missed a layup, but that's tough. Somebody trailing, you're going at full speed. Meg McEwen redeems herself there with a layup, but it's such a tough layup to make, going full speed with somebody trailing.
Dolphins now down by 9, 46-37, as the Cougars work the ball in the corner now. Now get the ball up over to Barth. Her jumper is up, no good. Kamadi up over the back of Tadaro to grab the rebound. Now up over to Shevchik. Her shot is no good. And this time Schmidt grabs the rebound and gets it to McEwen as the Dolphins look to run. Over to Callie. The open three-pointer is up, no good, as Callie continues to struggle with her shooting. As that ball bounces out of bounds, and it will remain Dolphin basketball, but a couple of open looks for Callie in the last couple of possessions, Coach, but can't get it to go down.
Yeah, great find by Meg McEwen, Callie, and the left corner. I've seen that many a times. Struggling right now, but she'll definitely hit the shot as Coach Sarcone takes a full timeout.
So we're going to have a full timeout here with 3 minutes and 44 seconds left in the third quarter. We'll step aside, take a break. Dolphins trail by a score of 46-37. You're watching women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back with 3 minutes, 44 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And, you know, Coach, we mentioned Jackie struggling with her shooting. Just 1 of 10 for the night, including 0 of 4 from the three-point line.
Yeah, and that's what she does. She's playing hard. She's doing all the right things. She's missing open shots. I'm very confident that she's going to make one here or two here down the road in this game.
So the Dolphins find themselves down by 9. They trailed by 8 going into the start of the third quarter as it's Callie with the ball, handing it off over to Mbesi. Now it's McEwen. McEwen with 13 to shoot. Now Mbesi, a pass inside, is going to be knocked away. Dolphins turn the ball over, and then McEwen commits the foul, and that's going to be the 15th foul on the Dolphins. So the Cougars will go to the free throw line.
I do not think the refs know that.
It is their 15th foul.
I do not think the refs know that, Mike.
Okay, so the Cougars will inbound the basketball, and I guess we have a rule change in effect for the night as the Cougars get the ball inside, and a nice defensive play by the Dolphins, but a nice play by the Cougars to hold the ball, and then we're going to have a foul called on McEwen against Carroll, so that could send the Cougars to the free throw line, and I thought the Dolphins were playing good defense on that play, and Cougars might have gotten bailed out a little bit on that one, Coach.
Just a little bit. The refs have been calling the game a little bit tighter on this end, and I do think that is in response to the fouls being 10-5, and it's just a natural thing to kind of look for more things to happen on this end.
Carroll leading the Cougars in scoring. She has 14 as Nicole Mbesi will come out. And Devin Mooney will check in. That second free throw is up no good, and Schmitter there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. And Kayla had 6 early points for the Dolphins, but has been quiet since that first quarter.
Yeah, and Devin Mooney checked back into the game. She had a really great move.
Nice move by Schmitter. Can't complete, but look at her go at that second rebound attempt. Can't complete the basket, and Carroll comes away with the ball.
Yeah, silly foul.
And
foul.
Yeah, and the Dolphins now will pick up another foul in the backcourt, and that will send the Cougars to the free throw line once again. So Schmitter wasn't able to pick up a basket there, Coach, but showed some nice moves around the basket.
Yeah, a great up and under move, one that she usually makes and she's consistent with, just rolled out. And then tough, we're kind of reverting to what we were doing in the first half. In the first half, we weren't getting back. Now we're kind of cheating and trying to stop the ball on half court and picking up silly fouls, and just an easy 2 there for Carroll.
So the Dolphins had cut the lead all the way down to 6. Now find themselves down by 12 once again as Mooney stops, pulls up, takes the three-pointer. That's no good. And we're going to have a whistle and a turnover on the double dribble against the Cougars. So Dolphins get a turnover there. That's a big turnover. The Dolphins need that as the Dolphins were able to cut this down to a 41-35 game. But since then, it's been an 8-2 run by the Cougars as they lead 49-37 as that jumper by Schmitter is up and in.
Yeah, she gets back onto the board in the second half. Great little 15-footer. Now the Dolphins need to get a stop.
Dolphins trail by 10, 2:23 remaining. As the ball gets worked over to Kamadi, she feeds it inside. The short shot is up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Mooney comes away with it. Callie with the basketball. Callie picks up the dribble, drives her way inside, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul, and that's going to be an offensive foul called on Jackie Callie. So Callie turns the ball over, and it'll be Cougar basketball. So that'll be the second personal on Callie, and it's Cougar basketball inside of 2 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Forsythe with the basketball. Over to Barth, back to Forsythe with 13 seconds to shoot. They work the ball in the corner now. They look to feed the ball inside. A nice play to Kamadi. The shot is knocked away and knocked out of bounds, and that'll be Dolphin basketball now with 1:39 remaining in the third quarter. Good defense that time by the Dolphins.
Yeah, what the Cougars are looking to do now, they're looking to throw the ball into the post to hit their high post cutting, which they try to do there with Carmody. With no luck, great help defense too by Meg McEwen.
Callie with the basketball out behind the three-point line. Now it's Schmitter looking to go off the pick. Good defense that time by the Cougars. as the Dolphins with the basketball now with 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock as Callie will turn it over. And it will be Cougar basketball.
Tough offensive possession for the Dolphins. Looked like they tried to run a set. Jackie Callie got caught outside dribbling, thought about a shot, and just put her hands on the ball too long for a double dribble.
So now it's the Cougars with the basketball now as it's Sefcik. Sefcik looking to work against McEwen. She picks up the dribble, feeds the ball inside, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the Dolphins once again, and Cougars will go back to the free throw line.
Great set there by the Cougars, back screen to throw it down to Jordan Barth. Great catch, great athleticism down low. Now she's going to the line for 2.
The first free throw is up and no good. That's their 10th free throw here in this third quarter. One more upcoming for Barth. Her second free throw is up and in. So the Cougars now 7 of 14 from the line here tonight.
Dolphins got to get something going. We've been struggling in the second half of this third quarter to get something going. And here's a steal.
Nearly loses possession. Now she does. They feed it ahead to Sefcik, who lays it up and in. And the Cougars open their lead back up to 12. McEwen working the ball up over to Robisky. Robisky drives her way inside, and we're going to have a whistle and another offensive foul called on the Dolphins. So, coach down the stretch here in the third quarter, the Dolphins turning the ball over and missing their shots.
Yeah, in the offense, the ball hasn't gotten inside in a while. We haven't said Kayla Schmitter's name in a while with a touch in the post. We've kind of just been Coach Sarcone gets hit with a technical foul here for arguing with the official.
So the Cougars in the middle of an 11-4 run to open their lead back up to 12. And Somali will go to the free throw line, and the Cougars will maintain possession. And Dolphins had cut this down to 6, now find themselves down by 14. They went into halftime trailing by just 8. So Dolphins played well for the first part of this third quarter, but have struggled down the stretch, Coach.
Yeah, and it's just been, we've missed some open shots. Jackie Callie's missed some open shots that she usually hits. And we really just, give the Cougars some credit. We really haven't gotten the ball back inside as much as we were doing. We haven't driven into the lane from the perimeter. So we've been really shooting a lot of jump shots and been struggling as of late, and the Cougars have taken advantage.
So now the Cougars with the basketball. The shot clock is off.
Driving right.
Kamadi looking to work away inside, and they'll go back to the free throw line for free throws with 12.9 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. And
very interesting in general. Number one, she really didn't have anywhere to go, so that's kind of a tough foul for the official to call. Number two, from the Cougars, they ended the second quarter with shooting way too early with no shot clock, and they did the same, but fortunate enough for them, they got a foul, and it looks like they stepped up to the line and hit 2.
So the Cougars now lead by 16 as we're inside of 10 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Callie with the basketball. Callie with 3 seconds puts it up. That's no good, as she'll finish the third quarter 1 of 11 from the field, and the Dolphins find themselves down by 16, 55-39.
And it's very frustrating. If somebody's inside, the way the rule is in NCAA basketball, somebody's inside the semicircle, the arc for the charge block call, if there's any contact at all and they're not elevated off the floor, it's an automatic block call. So that's what Coach Sarcone is over there arguing. If they have a foot in there, if they have a heel on the line, no matter how long they've been there, it's an automatic block call, and I think the officials missed a couple ones there.
So that's the end of the third quarter. Dolphins trail by 16. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back.
won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed.
We're back here to start the fourth quarter. The Dolphins find themselves down by 16 points, and Coach, it was a third quarter that the Cougars went to the free throw line 15 times.
Yeah, that's a combination of them throwing the ball in, so give them credit. I do think the officials had a little bit of a quicker whistle on that end, but you have to give Misericordia credit for attacking inside. They didn't really show too much of an inside game in the first half, and they really pounded the ball inside in the whole entire third quarter.
Coach, the Dolphins need defensive stops here as they find themselves down by 16 after making it a 10-point game, and the fourth quarter picks up where the third quarter left off as the Dolphins draw a foul on the Cougars' first possession, and it will be another shooting foul for the Cougars to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they have to stop Carmody. You know, it's only a matter of time. She hasn't been lights out tonight, but you have to stop her from getting to her right hand. She's looking to drive right all over the court. But give her credit, great player. She's getting herself going, getting herself to the free throw line as she steps up and hits one.
So the first free throw is up and in. The Dolphins had closed this game to 41-35, but since then it's been a 16-4 run by the Cougars to break this one open.
Free throws and layups. First half it was 3-pointers.
As McEwen with a wild shot that time is up no good, and here come the Cougars off the fast break. That short jumper is no good, and Schmidt is there to grab the rebound for the Dolphins. Now McEwen trying to take it coast to coast and lays it up and in.
Great take by Meg McEwen, ignited by Kayla Schmidt with a great rebound down low. See if the Dolphins can get a stop here and can get back going in transition.
Dolphins need defensive stops as Kamadi's short shot is up no good. The ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. And it looks like it will be Dolphin basketball.
Yeah, it looked like Zamulli and Jackie Cowley got tangled up a little bit. No call, Dolphins ball.
McEwen with the basketball now. Gets the ball up over to Verbitsky, back up over to Cowley. Cowley working the ball in the corner to Schmitter. Now inside to Perone. Her short jumper is up no good. And Zamulli is there to grab the rebound. And Dolphin shooting has gone ice cold, Coach.
Well, you had the big pass. Oh.
All right, so we're going to have a whistle, and it looks like a foul is going to be called on the Dolphins, as it looks like Rubinski was flashing on the scoreboard as she'll pick up her third. And Dolphins with 2 quick personals and 2 quick team fouls, I should say, here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and on the other end, the Dolphins had a great big pass. They had Schmitter and Rosa, who just missed a tough layup. And here they go, the Dolphins now in transition. They got to look to run.
So Rubinski with the turnover, and here come the Dolphins. Pass inside is knocked away, and now we'll have a kick ball, so it'll remain Dolphin ball. Dolphins shooting 19 of 57, 33% on the game, and they're going to need to pick that up here in the fourth quarter. McEwen fighting her way inside. The shot is up and no good, and the Dolphins will go to the free throw line for only the third time here in the second half.
Yeah, and I think if we throw the ball back inside and Meg McEwen has made it a point to start attacking the basket, I think we will get to the line. The rest have shown that they will call, some body fouls and some touch fouls. And although the Dolphins are frustrated, I think if they can just continue to go back to the well, throw the ball inside, and keep attacking the basket, that we'll get to the line and we'll get some easy shot opportunities.
Yeah, Misericordia has led this game from wire to wire as the Dolphins now close to within 15 with 8:05 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Sefcik with the basketball, looks to work the way inside, and we're going to have a whistle and a jump ball. Possession arrow will remain with the Cougars.
Great hustle by Meg to get that jump ball. I don't know why it's underneath the free throw line. It should be a side out.
So 20 seconds remaining here on the shot clock for the Cougars. Dolphins need defensive stops on every possession as Zamuli's pass is knocked away. And we're going to have another foul as both teams fighting for possession of the basketball, and the Dolphins pick up their third team foul here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's a tough foul, and they had the shot clock down to 15. More importantly, they get a reset to 30, and they get a whole chance to run their offense.
Yes, we're going to have a whistle, and a timeout will be taken by the Cougars. It'll be a 30-second timeout, Coach, so let's keep it right here. As we have an opportunity to take a look at the current women's basketball standings. And, you know, Coach, the all non-conference battles, conference season not underway yet. Dolphins off to a good start. Brooklyn 1-0, but hard to see much here this early in the season.
Yeah, and everybody's playing an unbalanced schedule, so you don't know how good the other teams that they're playing are. You don't know if they're playing teams that, you know, maybe inexperienced or maybe not ready at this part of the season. But the one thing you do like to see from CSI, especially them being our home team, is that they've won all the games that they played up until this point. So that could never be a bad thing. So it's nice to always see CSI in any sport at the top of the standings.
As that ball is lobbed inside, and that shot is up and in. Is a nice shot that time by Kamadi. She's starting to get on track offensively. She now is 15.
I believe they ran that same baseline out of bounds play for Forsyth in the first half, and now they run it for Carmody. We got to stop it from going to right hand.
As Schmidt's shot is up, no good, as the Dolphins miss a couple of opportunities. And here come the Cougars with the basketball as the Dolphins shooting. It's gone ice cold since the middle part of the third quarter.
Yeah, now we're missing tough shots around the basket. Definitely a little bit of contact there, but you got to figure out how to finish. Good kick out.
Wide open three that time is up, no good, and this time Wampole there to grab the rebound, and it will be Dolphin basketball as Dolphins just struggling to find ways to score, and going to have 3 substitutions now for the Dolphins.
3 subs into the game. We have Nicole and Bessie back in the game. We see Christina Carmelengo and Visaja Watson in the game, along with McEwen and Brianna Rubisky.
Coach, interesting substitutions by first-year head coach Nicole Sarcone. What do you think she's thinking as Carmelengo hits the
I was just about to allude that they're probably going to press. They have a lot smaller players out on the court, so they're probably looking to speed the tempo up to get into the game, because with 7 minutes left, down 15, it doesn't matter at this point if you lose by 30, but you need to get back into the game and you create more possessions by pressing.
And the Dolphins are going to pick up their 4th team foul. So with 6 minutes and 52 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter, the Dolphins will be in the penalty after the next team foul. Good defense by the Dolphins, but the Cougars able to get the ball inbounds. Carroll with the basketball. Carroll getting the ball across the midcourt line. They feed the ball inside now, and the shot is up and in. And it's now a 17-point game, 61-44.
And I know that too well. That's the one thing about playing small, is that it's tough when the ball gets around the basket. It's tough to stop, but these ladies are playing hard right now.
As now McEwen gets the basket. She's got 14, and it's a 15-point game. Feed inside. The reverse layup is up. No good, but the Cougars able to grab the basket and the basketball. And, you know, you mentioned, Coach, the Dolphins smaller and trying to press. Cougars able to grab that offensive rebound.
Right now in the half court, it's going to be really tough because we have 5 smalls out there. Nobody who really plays inside. Rubisky used to play inside for us last year. But the height of the Cougars could be an issue right here on this baseline out of bounds as they look to probably lob it here to Forsyth, number 10. Here comes a lob. No lob.
So let's see as they look to inbound the basketball and they get the ball into Kamadi. 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Coach, if you're Misericordia, are you trying to run some shot clock on these possessions? As now we're going to have another foul called on the Dolphins, and this will now lead to free throws.
Yeah, you definitely want to take some time off the clock. You don't want it to get out your offense because they've been flowing pretty well. But I think what they're trying to do is pound the ball inside, especially with the Dolphins being small.
So it's going to send Jordan Barth, the junior, to the free throw line to shoot 2. As Misericordia continuing to go through the to the free throw line here in this second half. As Barth coming in, having hit both of free throws, hits 2 more, and it's a 16-point game once again. McEwen with the basketball. McEwen, pass inside to Tadero. She loses the handle out of bounds, and it will be Cougar basketball. And Diana struggled a little bit here tonight, Coach.
Yeah, and they just try to run a Spain pick and roll action. Oh, she can't run. I wish I had that ref for my game the other day. But they try to run a Spain pick and roll action, which is a ball screen followed by a back screen for the girl who just screened, and it was open, but it's tough when they're doubling the pick and roll.
McEwen with the basketball now for the Dolphins, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul called on the Cougars as they will pick up their second team foul here in the fourth quarter.
And you see Megan McEwen doing the things that she's been doing all year. She sees the score. She's being really aggressive to score. She's out there with a freshman, Visasia Watson's out there who usually doesn't play. Diana Tadaro and Nicole and Bessie, who's usually not offensive-minded, and she's looking to be really aggressive to score.
McEwen, crossover dribble, as pass is going to go out of bounds, so a couple of back-to-back turnovers here for the Dolphins. Dolphins will be back in action a week from tonight as they will travel on the road and play Mount St. Mary before their Kudiak season finally gets underway, as we're going to have a whistle and a timeout taken here by the Cougars. It'll be a full timeout, so we're going to step aside and take a break here with 5 minutes and 33 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dolphins trail 62-46. You're watching women's basketball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
We're back here in the fourth quarter. 5 minutes, 33 seconds remaining. The Dolphins find themselves trailing 62-46. And, Coach, it was a game that the Dolphins climbed to within 6 in the third quarter, but they really have gone cold from the field since that point.
Going cold from the field, and also give Misericordia some credit. They've thrown the ball inside. They've totally shifted what they've done from the first half. But it's been a hard-fought game. It is 16 points, but it certainly doesn't feel that way as the Dolphins are working to get back into the game.
So it's the Cougars with the basketball now as they have 20 seconds remaining on the shot clock. McEwen will knock that ball out of bounds, so it will remain Cougar basketball. Interesting decision by head coach Sarcone, TJ, to bring in a small lineup here, and it pays off with the turnover.
They're playing very, very hard. As you see Visasia Watson, who's playing the 4-man for this team, as McEwen takes another shot. But you see Sage out there just fighting and just playing hard. And sometimes when your opportunities are limited, you want to get out there and you just want to do the right things and show your coach that you deserve some more opportunity.
As flying inside to the lane, a lot of contact on the play. Nothing called, and we have a whistle, and it'll be Dolphin basketball.
So much contact on that. The refs are unsure what they want to do. It definitely should be some sort of call, but I think they missed a couple early. Now they've reverted to just making no call. It's got to be some sort of call there under the basket when there's that much contact.
So it's going to be Dolphin basketball now with a fresh 30-second shot clock as Tadero's short jumper bounces up and in.
Great out-of-bounds play. I'm probably going to steal that for one of our games.
Tadero now has 8 as the Dolphins come away with the turnover. Now McEwen's jumper is up no good, and that's a big miss there for the Dolphins.
Tough.
Yeah, an opportunity to cut the lead down to 12. Instead, the Cougars will go back to the free throw line. As Misericordia continues to play well, and they've done a nice job as the road team here tonight, Coach. Not panicking when the Dolphins cut it down to 6. And, you know, the Dolphins have cut it down to 6 with several possessions, but could never get any closer.
Yeah, this is it looks like a veteran team. You know, there hasn't been any freshmen that have been out there that have really contributed for them. They play in a really tough conference. They played some tough games early. And when we've made a run, they've settled down and they've been able to play good basketball.
So the Dolphins now down 64-48, 4:30 remaining in the game, as that's Perone. Perone hands it off to Callie. Her shot is blocked and knocked away. As the Cougars now come away with the basketball and look to build on their 16-point lead. Carroll in the corner. Feed inside now to Zamali. And she's going to get called for the travel as the Cougars turn the ball over with 4 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in the game, and a substitution now for the Cougars. Hafley will check into the game. Sefcik will check out of the game. And the Dolphins with the basketball now, down by 16.
And they got to get something going quick.
They hand the ball off to Callie. Now Perone. Perone collided into, and that will be the third team foul on the Cougars, as the Dolphins will inbound the basketball with 4 minutes and 1 second remaining here in this fourth quarter. Perone to inbound the basketball. Now it's Watson. Watson wide open. Her jumper is no good, and Carroll there to grab the rebound. Hafley. Hafley working the ball up over to Carroll, but Mbesi cuts across the passing lane to steal, drives inside, and draws the foul. That should be a shooting foul. So let's see if Mbesi will go to the free throw line, and she will.
Great steal by Mbesi. That's what she does. Last year she came in and she would guard a lot of good players. She's great off the ball. She stepped into the passing lane, and she earned herself 2 free throws.
So Nicole goes to the free throw line for the Dolphins, and her first is up and no good. Nicole with her first free throw attempt of the season. This is the first. She'll have one more. And that free throw is up and in, and it's a 15-point game, as we have 3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Forsythe with the basketball. Now Hafley. Hafley looking to use the pick. Getting the ball back up over to Forsythe, and a jumper is up and in.
And the same gamble that Mbesi took on the last possession, she just missed it, and Hafley was able to step right in and hit a jump shot. So I think that was Forsythe, I'm sorry.
So the Cougars open up their biggest lead of the game, as it's 20 as the feed inside, and the layup is up and in. As Watson gets her second basket, and it's an 18-point game inside of 3 minutes remaining in the game. And Coach, it looks like the Dolphins are going to drop their first one of the year.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it too soon. This group is playing very hard, and it's a mountain to climb, but I've seen things happen, and this group, like I said, they're out there. They're playing very hard.
So it's Forsythe with the basketball. She worked it up over to Hafley. Her open three-pointer is up, no good. Ball deflected around, and Watson collided into, and that will be the 5th foul on the Cougars, with 2 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in this game. And, you know, Coach, the Dolphins got off to a great start. They won their first 3 games. They did a nice job battling back in this one, cutting it down to 6 before the Cougars opened the lead back up to 15. What does the team take out of a game like this?
I think you take a lot. I think you're playing against a class program and a great team, and the Misericordia Cougars. Great athletic program, great athletic department. They have teams that go into the NCAA tournament and all different sports. And when we step up in class a little bit and play good teams like this, I think you can only learn. So I know Coach Sarcone and our staff will get and dissect the film probably directly after the game. And, you know, they'll be able to do things in practice tomorrow or Friday where they'll be able to work on things that maybe that they weren't able to see against other teams. So this game is a good step for them. They've also seen some of the women come off the bench and give some good minutes, and they're playing hard. You know, everybody's always being evaluated when they're on the floor. But I think something like this, even though you want to win games and you want to compete a little bit better, I think you could take a lot of positives out of this so they can keep getting better for their ultimate goal.
You know, Coach, your team will be back in action this Saturday night after having a week off after going out on the road and playing yet more games on the road. What are you looking for out of your team this Saturday night against NYU?
Yeah, well, we're going to play a tough NYU team. You know, they have a new coach. They're well coached. They actually played John Jay tonight in our conference, and they played Baruch. And you know, NYU is a storied program. It's a class program. It's where we want to be across the board. But we're gonna go out there. We're gonna compete. Definitely want to see improvement. And of course, right now we're 0-4, so we are what we are. We definitely would love a chance to get into the win column.
You know, Coach, you have 3 more games on the road before you get back to the Sports and Recreation Center here in the Tank at Staten Island, December 4th against John Jay. A lot of road games to start this 2018 season.
Yeah, and I think it's great because we get to go into different atmospheres, different gyms. We were just down at Roanoke College where there was great hosts. Everybody was great. It's a $40 million new center that they have down there. So the one good thing is that we try to give our guys the full student-athlete experience of spending time traveling, being in a hotel, sitting down and eating great meals together, and going and seeing all these other Division III institutions that are, you know, around hopefully the country in the future. And what it does for us is we play against great competition. It shows us that we got to be ready every single night. And like I've said earlier in the pregame, is that when we play these great teams, it only prepares us because as soon as we get into CUNY, every game is a dogfight. I have a lot of respect for all the coaches and all the teams and all the programs around the conference, and we're just trying to build ourselves in a situation so that we can contend for a championship.
You know, Coach, there was so many 1- and 2-point games in that CUNYAC championship, and the one thing you know about this conference on both the men's and women's side is that once these teams get into the tournament, anything could happen.
Yeah, and you could throw the records out on either side. You know, it's easy for me to say right now we're 0-4, but you know, you see a lot of growth from teams. A lot of teams have players coming back that are really good, and games are going to be close. I think we played a total of somewhere around in double digits in 3 points or less games. I know we played a couple against Lehman, one being the championship game. So games are going to be close. A lot of our games could have went either way, including the championship game last year. And we're just trying to find a way to continue to get better so that hopefully at the end of the season we can put ourselves in the best position to win tough playoff games.
So the men will be on the road for their next 3 contests. The women will be on the road for their next 2. And then we'll finally get some home conference action underway here at the Tank in Staten Island against John Jay. And you guys will have already faced CCNY, and then once the conference schedule gets going, especially once the Christmas holiday goes by, it really is all conference games from that point forward.
Once we get after our Tournament of Heroes, which is going to be another great span of basketball for the Staten Island community. Once we get past that, then we have nothing but conference games. But it's so hard, even though it's exciting, to look ahead to the Tournament of Heroes and other things like that. You know, we got to focus on NYU because that's such a tough team and a tough program, and we got to try to figure out a way to beat those guys.
So 69-54 is the score with 45 seconds remaining. Is Watson driving in the lane. That shot is knocked away, and the rebound grab by the Cougars. So Watson getting an opportunity to play and really taking advantage of it, Coach.
Yeah, playing hard. She's undersized. It looks like she's playing the 4 spot for them. They're undersized as a whole right now as Mbesi continues to play hard and put the pressure on, and she earns a backcourt call. But Sage has come off the bench and has just tried to play hard along with everybody else. And you know when people don't get a chance to play, they have something to prove, both internally and maybe to everybody else. And they're not looking at the score right now, and they just continue to play hard.
So the shot clock is off now as it's Callie with the basketball. Jackie looking to work her way inside, and she will draw the foul. And, you know, Jackie's had a tough night from the field, Coach, but she continues to play hard.
Continues to play hard and continues to take shots, which is important. You know, if you're struggling and you're a good shooter, you're open. Obviously, Coach Sarcone has the confidence in her to continue to shoot, and that's what she's done.
So Callie goes to the line and misses the first. So her struggles from the field continue here today. We mentioned before, the men will be in action this Saturday night against NYU at Hunter College. The women will be back in action a week from tonight on the road against Mount St. Mary,
who Misericordia also played earlier this year already.
Yes, and beat decisively. Is the shot clock off, and we're going to have a foul in the backcourt, so the Cougars will go to the free throw line here with 16.6 seconds remaining.
And normally you would be upset about that as 20 seconds left, maybe get back, but Christina Carmelengo is a freshman, somebody who's out there, and another one who's trying to earn minutes, so she's out there playing hard. So, you know, you got to be happy with the effort regardless of the score.
So 16.6 seconds remaining. The Dolphins will drop their first game of the season, but still off to a great start, Coach, as they've won 3 out of their first 4.
Absolutely a great start. You know, they have a lot of new pieces, whether they've been on the team or whether they came onto the team. So it's always difficult to try to figure out what the roles are. And it's a continuing process regardless of what the records are. And like I said, they'll get right back to work, and they'll figure that out.
So, and Bessie will get the last basket for the Dolphins. The Dolphins will close to within 14, but they'll drop their first game of the season by a final score of 70-56.
Great game, great effort. Misericordia Cougars, they will probably be near the top of their conference. They came down. They had a good game plan. They adjusted their game plan in the second half. We went a little bit cold, but, you know, give the Cougars credit coming down, taking a long drive from Dallas, Pennsylvania, and coming out with a victory against a very good Dolphins team.
All right, so the Dolphins will drop to 3-1 on the year. And, you know, Coach, the Dolphins had closed to within 6 in the middle of the third quarter and really had 3 or 4 opportunities to narrow that 6-point deficit. But once they failed to do so, the Cougars were able to take advantage of some free throw shooting, got a little bit hard from the field, and pulled away in the second half.
Yeah, it was us who came out in the second half. We ended the first half on a 7-0 run. We continued it. I think we hit the first maybe 4 or 5 or 6 points of the second half. And then the Cougars, you know, just like a veteran team, they stayed composed. They answered. They threw the ball inside. They worked their way to the line, took advantage of a couple of, you know, calls. You know, maybe, you know, if you're a CSI fan, a couple of questionable calls on that end. But give the Cougars, like I said, a lot of credit. They did a tremendous job, and they really did well to come out and get a victory.
You know, Coach, thank you so much for coming over here and joining us tonight. Always a thrill to work with you, and maybe I get the women's basketball coach over here for a game as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm positive that she'll do a lot better job than I will and be a lot more prepared, but it's always great to be on the air. Like I've said before, you, along with Dave, along with Joe Foreman, and along with anybody else who stepped foot on air, has really enhanced our basketball program. I know a lot of my family and a lot of everybody else's family gets a chance to watch our games if they're not here, and you guys do a tremendous job. We have Dave here engineering. You know, he's not – you know, I kind of took his spot, robbed his spot today. He's not here on the mic, but he's here engineering and putting up all the graphics and stuff. And like I've commented to Dave before, I said, this is so tremendous. I go home, I watch this on YouTube, on my TV. It looks just like I'm watching ESPN with our own graphics. And then when you talk about the additions of the scoreboards and the score tables across the way and the new banners we have and everything we have here, I mean, there's nothing better than watching the game here at the College of Staten Island.
That's true. Thanks a lot, Coach. So that's going to wrap things up here from the tank at the College of Staten Island. Don't forget to join us for our next broadcast, Tuesday, December 4th, as both the men's and women's basketball team will take on John Jay College in CUNY Conference action. The women will get things underway at 5:30, opening pregame show at 5:15. So for head coach T.J. Tibbs and Mike Babusky and our engineer Dave Pizzuto, so long, thanks for watching. Once again, the final score, the College of Staten Island drops their first game of the year to Misericordia by a final score of 70-56. Have a great night, everybody.
Fear the fin, baby.